to check in. Good morning, Larry Rakow from Wonderland Books in Cleveland, Ohio, and my co-host Lee Lynn from Ridge Books in Calhoun, Georgia. Is it Ridge Books or the Ridge Books?
It's the Ridge Books.
The Ridge Books.
Because when we did the name, Ridge refers to a couple of things. It refers to the Ridge and Valley geographical or geological area that we're in, and it also refers to Major Ridge of the Cherokee Nation. And it was just going to be Ridge Books, but there was a graduate student somewhere that had that internet name, Ridge Books, and so we put "the" in front of it. 23 years ago. So
buying up all the URLs.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what it is.
Isn't it incredible though, Ed? I was just thinking, not to interrupt you, but the idea of you're going out to take a look at a collection in a house. Halfway there, you're able to stop into a store and broadcast something.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. It's just great.
Yeah. And then to be in your car and take a phone call ordering books in your car, that's just wonderful.
New world.
And within an hour of hanging up on this promo, our executive producer, T. Allen Smith, is going to have this up on the internet, and people in every corner of the world are going to be able to see it.
Incredible.
Larry, one of the things you talked about on the show this past weekend is the Wonderland 100, which of course is your URL as well. And I went in after the show and checked out your list of 100 children's books. Really cool. It's a lot of work.
It is.
And a lot of fun.
As we change from, some of us change from written catalogs to online catalogs. It's not as though one is easier than the other. In point of fact, doing it online, if you want to do it correctly and have fun doing it, takes a lot of work. But it's been very successful so far. So thank you. I appreciate you checking it out.
I enjoy it. I find that my process is to get the books online, and then I can cut and paste it into a catalog, or usually an e-catalog, which goes out to the world.
Yep.
It's been, about 7 or 8 years since I've done a paper catalog, maybe longer than that. Yeah. The last one we did, which was a music catalog, one of our best customers went through it and marked all the errors that appeared when it was transferred from my program to a PDF. That was when the errors appeared, and I didn't catch all of them. And so he went through and marked all of the errors for me. I thought that was very, that was after all the copies had been printed.
Very kind.
Thank you very much.
Very, very helpful. Very helpful.
But Larry, the main topic which you shared with us, which you were going to be sharing us when the show goes live tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time, are golden books. And here's something else I've been thinking about since you presented, that we go to these book fairs and everybody oohs and ahs over maybe a 500-year-old vellum-bound book, but the best-selling children's book of all time is only 8 inches by 8 inches by maybe a quarter of an inch thick.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And as we talk about tomorrow, I mean, these have, for a certain generation especially, just have an emotional impact. These are the kinds of books, that is, little golden books, that many of us were learned to read with, and were really the first books that we came in contact with. They for a long time really just overlooked by both book collectors and book dealers, but they have come into their own. And Little Golden Books is a hot and heavy collecting category now. Of course, as with anything that's only 8 inches by 8 inches and just a quarter of an inch thick, they were destroyed by kids. I mean, they were colored in and drooled on and ripped out and tossed away. The idea, of course, is to find something, many, 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 many decades old that is still in collectible condition.
And I think you've got a little anecdote that the folks that are checking in are going to be interesting to hear about your discovery of a trove of golden books. We'll hear more about that on the show.
It was a once in a lifetime, but yes, that was fun.
Lee, what was your favorite little golden book?
Well, my favorite little golden book was actually the one that Larry's already shown, which was a Pokey Little Puppy. Though I missed his question on when we were taping, when he asked me which was the best selling of all times, and I missed that. But it's a little book that makes you want to hug the puppy, but it makes you want to hug somebody.
Well, let me just tell our listeners that Larry has so much information on this topic that it's going to be a 2-segment show. So what's the first half of the show going to be about, Larry?
First half of the show is really an introduction to Little Golden Books, to describe where they came from, some of the primary authors and illustrators who worked for them, and just the basics of Little Golden Books. I think the second time around, we're really going to take a look at some collector things, how to identify first editions, how the covers changed over the years, how the topics changed over the years. We'll go a little bit more deeply into that.
That has to be a tough one. How to identify editions? Were there marked or numbered indications?
There were, but they're sort of secret. So for anybody who has any questions about them, we're going to reveal. All the secrets will be revealed in the second half of the show.
How about a bibliography? Is there a golden book bibliography?
There is. There have been some very substantive books, reference books written on Little Golden Books, and we'll talk about those as well.
Good. I'm excited. And Lee, what do you have for us this weekend?
Well, 2 things. My book club report is on some of the favorites that the members have sent in to me, and I'll be focusing on Southern writers because that's where a lot of the favorites came from. And also on a field trip that we took to Andalusia, the farm home of Flannery O'Connor, where she spent the last 12 years of her life, and pictures of that and pictures of the book club at Andalusia.
Excellent. All right, folks, that's the Rare Book Cafe coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and where greater podcasts can be found. If you're looking for the audio version only, it's called Rare Book Cafe Raw. It's the book lovers rendezvous where the topics are priceless and the conversation is free. Now, speaking of conversation, leave us a note on our Facebook page or send us a Gmail at the rarebookcafe@gmail.com. No, the rarebookcafe@gmail.com. And let us know what you're interested in. If you got a question for Larry or for Lee or other people you'd like to see on the show, let us know. All right, what's planned for the weekend? We're taping these shows now, folks, so that our co-hosts and hosts and guests will have a little bit of free time on the weekend. What are you up to this weekend, Larry?
Oh, I have my brother and sister-in-law coming in from Ithaca, New York, and we're going to.
So nice to see family again.
It is. We're going to spend some time with my 100-year-old mother.
Wow!
Oh, wow!
That's special.
It is
very special. And how about for you, Lee?
Well, I don't know that I'm going to do much of anything since we're sort of staying in. I am working on projects for the Festival of Trees, including a pair of stacked book candlesticks that I've taken really decrepit old books and covered them in marbleized paper and stacked them up and put candles on top, which is a project I've done in various forms for years and years and years for the art show. So anyway, that's what I'll be working on this weekend.
All right. Well, Larry, make sure you let your mother know that we think she did a real good job raising you.
I'll pass it on. Thank you.
All right. Okay, folks, we'll see you on the Rare Book Cafe, the book lovers rendezvous. Thanks for joining us. We're going to hit the streets live at 12:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. That's it for now. And we're done.